Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys, the 9th of June already. Unbelievable, but yes, it is indeed the case as we wake up to 84 muggy degrees. Woke up a while ago to that, actually. We're on our way to around 90, and it's going to be humid. Slight chance of showers. We'll have a complete forecast here coming up in a bit. Emily Schemper joins in with us right now. She's Director of Growth Management for Monroe County. Good morning to you, Emily.
Good morning.
Hi there. So thanks for being here. Also, a quick reminder, this show is available on television, locally, Channel 27, Keys Living TV, also on Roku streaming, and downloadable on the free app from your favorite app store, Keys Living TV, so we can see and hear this conversation again at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. today. So, Emily, big topic. We have a BOCC meeting, Board of County Commissioners, coming up on Wednesday. That is tomorrow. And an ongoing discussion about, as you've called it, the HCP in Big Pine. Can you explain it once again for those who are unfamiliar?
Correct. I know we've talked about it before, but it is an ongoing topic of discussion. The Habitat Conservation Plan and its associated incidental take permit for Big Pine Key and No Name Key is a federal permit that addresses three species: the key deer, eastern indigo snake, lower Keys marsh rabbit. Those are all endangered species, federally endangered. And this document was put together years ago. It currently includes regulations for those two islands, Big Pine and No Name Key, for those species, and those regulations get applied when people apply for a building permit. We also have a second endangered species process that is currently in place. It's spoken about as the biological opinion and permit referral process. That covers all of Monroe County, and it covers 9 endangered species, including those 3. But for Big Pine and No Name Key, it always kicks the permits over back to the HCP and incidental take permit. So those are the two systems in place currently. On June 30, that incidental take permit for Big Pine and No Name Keys will expire. So that's something that happens automatically. And then another thing that happens automatically when that expires, it's already written into the biological opinion permit referral process. It's already written into that federal document that the Big Pine and No Name Key permits get shifted over to this permit referral process. So everything will get grouped together in the permit referral process. And that was the result of a court-ordered settlement agreement. So it was a court-ordered lawsuit. It was FEMA, U.S. Fish and Wildlife. There were private parties involved as well. And there was a settlement agreement that resulted in that permit referral process. And I bring that up because it kind of changes how we deal with that document and what we can and cannot do as local government, community members, residents, et cetera. So court-ordered settlement agreement resulted in this permit referral process that automatically takes over the regulations on Big Pine and No Name Key starting July 1.
So what types of additional restrictions might we expect as a result of that, if any?
Well, it's kind of the opposite. When that original plan came out, this is getting moved to the permit referral process. The fear was that the special protections on Big Pine and No Name Key were going to go away. So lots of community statements and input that we've gotten both through emails, and then also we had a community meeting the last week of May. We had great turnout. It was very good to see many residents, property owners, interested parties out there. Mayor Lincoln was there. Commissioner Scholl attended. And the concerns were that the protections on Big Pine and No Name are going away because the permit referral process, which was set up for the rest of the Keys, doesn't address those two islands in as much detail. Well, on May 27, the day before that meeting, so understandably kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of people, on May 27, U.S. Fish and Wildlife issued us the finalized official letter that confirms the transition process for all of this. And the great thing about it is it references and carries over all of the special protections. There's a list of like 24 items that were in that HCP and incidental take permit. It references those and carries them over to the new permit referral process. So all of those extra restrictions will stay in place. Staff will still review all the permits for that and impose those on the permit. So that's great news the county also was supportive of keeping these protections in place for the key deer and the marsh rabbit especially. So that's what will happen beginning July 1. And that actually happens regardless of what the board decides on Wednesday. I know there are some community members asking for the board to wait and table the item. We need more time to look at it. And I understand that. I mean, this has been a quick thing and these documents are huge. They're very complicated. This process changeover happens on July 1 no matter what. But at the meeting, when the community was asking about that, Mayor Lincoln did say, yes, I agree, we need to meet more often and talk about this. So she's planning to host quarterly meetings for the community to talk about these issues. And I think what we figured out at the end of that meeting was that some people are wanting additional restrictions for the key deer. So even if the same things that are in place are staying in place, there are some additional concerns. So we will have those meetings going forward. But the federal government decides how this process works at the moment. So that's how it will work starting July 1.
Boy, what a complicated issue, but an important one it is. Speaking with Emily Schemper, she is Director of Growth Management for Monroe County. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. So is there much latitude that the county commissioners could have, given this seems to be really under the purview of the federal government?
So it's under the purview of the federal government. There has been discussion about habitat conservation plans. Those are something that's usually prepared by the community. It starts at the local level, which is very true. It's usually a fairly long and expensive process. Fine, if it's important, that's still something that could be done. But because it gets pulled into this biological opinion permit referral process already, and that was a court-ordered lawsuit, it was a settlement agreement, it's a little bit harder to start teasing it out of that, because I don't want to speak as a legal person, because that's not my area, but what I'm hearing is it's going to be harder to tease that out, because that was a lawsuit involving Fish and Wildlife and FEMA. That was the lawsuit that was about flood insurance in endangered species areas. So some may remember we have this injunction on permits for years. Was this was the thing that opened that back up. So we don't want to go that direction again.
Interesting. Well, and I'm certainly not advocating for less restrictions or anything. Or really, I'm trying to certainly be unbiased, but I do love the key deer. They do need their protections for sure. Although I've never met a marsh rabbit before, even though I'm in the Big Pine area a lot. So I
I think they're a little sneakier than the key deer.
Yeah, the key deer are pretty bold at times. So kind of in a nutshell, it sounds like it's going to be a kind of a continuation of the current conditions, restrictions, et cetera, that we've been functioning under for a number of years. Is that an accurate depiction?
Yes, I would say so. This began, I believe these restrictions started in about 2006, and they are being carried over basically into perpetuity. So for almost forever, until something is actually changed in that biological opinion at the federal level. That document does not expire. The incidental take permit that we're currently under expires, and we have had requests to, let's extend it for a year and, try to get these in place for longer. Well, what we have right now is actually an extension into the unknown future forever. So that's good. If there are discussions about additional restrictions, we can do that as well. But for the time being, it's basically the status quo. All of the limits on impacts, that's all staying in place. They are allowing a few more house permits on Big Pine. It's an additional 36, and that's because the state gave us those additional housing units in the bill that was passed last year. So the state has told us we need to give those out in the next 10 years. We're doing it very slowly on Big Pine, and it would be 36 additional units, but we cannot exceed the impact to the species habitat.
And judging from the community input that you've already sought and received, do you have a feeling as to where the public kind of comes down on this issue? Is it fairly evenly split between restrictions versus more versus less, or is it overwhelmingly on one side or the other of the issue?
It's hard to say because you always hear more from people who want something different. So, I do know that there were people at the community meeting who, once they understood what was going on, felt better about the situation. But we do continue to get input, even since that meeting, asking for more or a different process, which is understandable. So I think we'll hear more about that on Wednesday as well. That is scheduled for 2:00, by the way. So unfortunately, it is all the way up in Key Largo. But we did need to get that on the agenda this month. And because we already hosted the in-person meeting on Big Pine, we've given people an opportunity to join in person, or, the commission meetings are always available by the Zoom webinar as well. So that gives people who are possibly out of town. We heard there were people out of town who wanted to participate. You can log in and participate. It's set for 2:00 tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, and sometimes, as you said, sometimes the most vocal and most participatory, if that's a word, group is not always the majority, but it's good to gather information from all facets, and people are encouraged to take part in this process. But it is a very interesting, very complicated discussion, but we'll see how it does play out, especially after Wednesday's BOCC meeting. So many different entities, agencies involved with this, but again, all in the name of, protecting some endangered species here that are not able to protect themselves. So there's, I don't know too many people that could argue with that, but some will. So anyway, we are speaking with Emily Schemper. She is Director of Growth Management for Monroe County. And it seems like we are always talking about development versus quality of life issues. This is another one of those.
It is.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, you anything else we'd like to talk about at this particular time? Because that is kind of it's consuming a lot of the oxygen in the room, but it's a very important issue and a very big one at that.
No, that's it for today. Again, 2:00. It's item M13. I know people who want to speak like to know the item number. So M like Mary, 13.
Okay. Very good. Well, I appreciate the insight and you helping us unpack this very complicated issue, Emily. And it's important to keep the public informed, educated, and engaged. And we invite all to take part in the ongoing discussions. And again, we very much appreciate your expertise and insight into this.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk again soon.
You too.
Thank you. Emily Schemper with us. She's Director of Growth Management, Monroe County. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys, and save the key, dear. How about that? Well, anyway, no, I'm not going to take sides, but nonetheless, they are darn cute. It is 8:21, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys, and we'll be right back with more Good Morning Keys in a moment.
Are you frustrated by weight gain even though you constantly diet? Do you have low energy or always feel tired? It could be hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalances, especially as we age, can be the cause of depression, weight gain, mood swings, decreased libido, and many other chronic conditions. At Keys Med Spa, we have helped thousands of women and men regain their hormonal balance with BioT, bioidentical hormone optimization therapy, and the results are life-changing. Keys Med Spa BioT hormone therapy is safe, effective, painless, and affordable. And the big difference at Keys Med Spa, this is all overseen by renowned Dr. Peterson, who has had a medical practice in the Keys for over 27 years. Cool sculpting, Botox, skin treatments, BioT hormone therapy, and more. Dr. Peterson and his team are here to help you maintain your youthful glow and vitality. To see if BioT hormone therapy is right for you, call Keys Med Spa today at 305-587-9183.
The Greenhouse. Have you been there yet? We even spell it with 3 E's to help you smile when you say it. That's our goal. We carry the largest selection of hemp-derived THC and CBD products in Monroe County. If you've been taking medication for anxiety, depression, inflammation, lack of sleep, or muscle and joint pain, and it's just not working, or you don't like the side effects, we can help. If you're looking to chill, relax, escape, focus, or even break out into euphoric fits of laughter, we can help there too. No medical card is needed. You just have to be 21 or over. Our 3 locations are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. In Key West, we're at 431 Front Street, just in front of Mallory Square. In Marathon, you can find us at mile marker 52 at 10875 Overseas Highway. In Key Largo, we're at 99304 Overseas Highway in the middle of the road. Swing on by, share your goals with us, and we'll recommend a product to help you reach them. And we back our recommendations with a 100% money-back guarantee. The Greenhouse. Stop on by and find out what the buzz is all about today.
Visit one of the 12 locations of the Greenhouse, including 9 in the Keys and featuring their newest store at 3128 North Roosevelt, Key West.
Hey, Key West, Danny Hughes here from Two Friends. Really from Two Friends. So Maura and I were sitting at breakfast in the bar, listening to live music at 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She's about to enjoy some huevos rancheros and me shrimp and grits with fried oysters. Heart healthy. And Maura says, Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. It was perfect because we didn't move here because Key West is like a lot of other places. We moved here because it isn't like any other place on earth. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends, 512 Front Street in Old Town, Key West, or twofriends.com.
This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. Newsroom has informed us there's a non-traffic accident, which no injuries involved, but it is mile marker 21 Cudjoe Key, causing some slowdowns on US 1. Keep that in mind as well. But Nikki, the nurse practitioner, is stationary in front of a beautiful sunrise or sunset. I can't remember which it is, but good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. And again, people can watch our conversation and hear it once again. Keys Living TV, locally channel 27, Roku streaming, and downloadable at your app store for free Keys Living TV app. And this show will run again today, 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. We are going to talk, speaking of the sunrise, sunset, melatonin, the truth about tanning injections, nasal sprays, what they mean for your skins. We're going to stay on the skin topic today with Medical Matters, brought to you by the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated Med Spa, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West. Exceptional healthcare close to home with Dr. Rhoda Smith, providing that exceptional healthcare for many years. So, increasingly popular on social media and gyms throughout the aesthetic world, melatonin. Wait, did I get it right?
No, you did not.
I'd say melatonin. This is something else.
Melanotan.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Take it away,
Melatonin helps
Nikki.
you go. Melatonin helps you go to sleep. Melanotan.
What's that have to do with
that's
skin?
okay, because this was an eye opener for me too. Because people come to me for skin revitalization and anti-aging, and peptides are all the rage right now. A lot of wellness clinics are doing peptides, and so this is a peptide that I never heard of, and I had to look it up because somebody came in and said, "Can you get laser if you're on melanotan?" And I was like, "What is that?" But it doesn't sound like you should.
No, but it sounds too much like melatonin. Too, so we need to make
it does. Yes. All right. So, it's melanotan is referred to as tanning injections or nasal spray. That you're basically tanning from the inside out. So if you're looking for a bronze glow without spending hours in the sun, melanotan is often marketed as a shortcut for achieving darker skin. But let's talk about what exactly does it work? Is it safe? And what patients should know before considering trying it. So, what is melanotan? Melanotan is a synthetic peptide designed to mimic a naturally occurring hormone called alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone, or alpha MSH. This hormone signals pigment-producing cells of the skin called melanocytes to produce more melanin. Melanin is what gives your skin, hair, eyes their color. So more melanin in the skin generally means darker skin. Do you kind of see where we're going with this?
I do. Okay. Yes.
So there are two versions that are usually discussed: melatonin 1 and melatonin 2. Melanotan. See, now I'm saying melatonin. See? Oh my goodness.
Sorry. Melanotan. Yes.
Melanotan. Melatonin. Oh my God. Get it out of your head. This version is most often sold online for cosmetic tanning purposes. is the Melanotan 2, typically marketed as injections or nasal sprays. People that are using it, they want to tan faster, achieve darker skin, maintain a year-round tan, spend less time in the sun, prepare for vacations or special events. On social media, it's often presented as an easy shortcut to tan without discussing the potential risks. So, does it work? Yes, it increases pigment in some people. Melanotan stimulates again the melanin production, which can make the skin appear darker. However, because something works that well doesn't mean that it's safe. Many products produce a desired cosmetic effect while carrying health risks that consumers may not fully understand.
Okay. Well, speaking of safe, is it FDA approved?
So Melanotan 2 is not FDA approved for cosmetic tanning purposes. It is important because many products sold online come from unregulated sources. So this means that there's no guarantee regarding the purity, the accuracy of dosing, quality control, sterility, ingredient verification. Sometimes people just assume that because it's sold online, it has been roughly tested and regulated, and that is not always the case.
Okay, we are speaking of melanotan today.
Melanotan.
In terms of pigmentation and tanning and your health. And of course, it's brought to you by the Key West Surgical Group, Incorporated Med Spa. Medical Matters is brought to you by Dr. Rhoda Smith and the fine team at Key West Surgical Group, Incorporated Med Spa. Exceptional care close to home. KeyWestSurgicalGroup.com online. Melanotan. So let's talk about some side effects, though, that can happen if you use this.
So just like any medication, medication that you take, you can have side effects. So nausea, vomiting, facial flushing, headaches, fatigue, dizziness, loss of appetite. Some users may experience these symptoms shortly after administration because melanotan affects multiple systems in the body. Side effects aren't just limited to the skin alone.
Oh, good. Yay. Well, changes in moles and pigmentation. How about that? Is that a concern?
Yes, it is. And this is where this becomes a concern for me. If you're coming to see me for skin pigmentation issues or anti-aging issues, this is what we're trying to fix. And then you're on something that's making more.
Counterproductive.
Okay, it is counterproductive. So one of the biggest concerns that dermatologists are facing is the effect of melanotan can have on moles and pigmented lesions. So users have reported darkening of existing moles, new pigmented spots, darkening of freckles, and changes in skin pigmentation patterns. These changes can make it more difficult to monitor for skin cancer and then recognize suspicious lesions, which we've talked about, the prevention of, what to do when you go to the dermatologist, how the mold changes, different colors, multiple colors, irregular borders, the A, B, C, D, E, asymmetry, border irregularity, color variation, diameter changes, and evolving lesions. When pigmentation throughout the skin is changing, it can make skin surveillance more challenging. So if you see your dermatologist regularly and now all of a sudden you go in with darker pigmented lesions, they can only get nervous and suspect that, you could have skin cancer. So if you're on the melanotan and that is causing it, it's what they're more concerned about, that it's going to be harder to detect skin cancer.
Okay, Nikki, the nurse practitioner with us. Medical Matters brought to you by the Key West Surgical Group, Incorporated in Med Spa. Exceptional care close to home with Dr. Rhoda Smith, providing that exceptional care for many years. So it's not definitive then that melatonin causes melanoma, right?
Right. This is a common question. Does melanotan cause melanoma? And at this time, there hasn't been enough research to prove that melanotan directly causes melanoma. However, there have been several reports of concerning mold changes and melanoma diagnoses in some users. So what we know is that excessive UV exposure increases your skin cancer risk. Tanning beds increase your skin cancer risk. A tan is evidence that the skin has already been exposed to UV damage. Whether the tan comes from the sun, a tanning bed, or a peptide stimulating melanin production, skin health still deserves to be monitored carefully.
Okay. Well, how about some people might think that a darker skin, darker complexion, or even a tan can protect you from sun damage. Is that?
That is correct. Yeah, and you hear that all the time. Like my skin is dark, I don't have to wear sunscreen.
Oh,
That is not true. Darker skin from melanotan protects them from the sun, does not protect them from sun damage. This is just, it's not true. So even if your skin appears darker, UV radiation can still damage DNA, collagen, elastin, and the skin cells. You can still burn, age prematurely, develop sunspots, and develop skin cancer. So a tan should never replace daily sunscreen, protective clothing, the hats, sunglasses, and seeking shade, everything that we've talked about and gone over for the last couple of weeks. Making your skin darker from the inside out does not protect you any more than the sun beating down on your skin damaging. The damage can be the same.
Yeah. So, Nikki, the nurse practitioner, let's talk about this then. Melatonin.
Melanotan.
Oh, man. All right. Well, melanotan.
We butchered this today because even I called it melatonin.
Oh, my
I didn't
goodness.
I didn't even take melatonin.
No, melanotan. Please, there we go. That specifically does that affect laser treatments? Because we talked about those very advanced and exclusive laser treatments available at the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. So what about melanotan when you're considering those laser treatments?
So this is why this topic is, we're talking about this today, because over the last several weeks, I've had a couple of people come in who are on melanotan. And they're like, it doesn't create skin cancer and it gives you a tan and it's great. And of course, I'm like, I've never heard of this before.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So I got to look it up. But anything, again, that has melana, I think, see, you thought of melatonin. I thought of melanoma when I heard it. Like anything that increases the melanin production is going to, your increased risk for melanoma, even though they don't have any data to support that. It's still a concern for me because skin cancer or me or like this. So yes, the answer is yes. Melanotan can affect the way a laser treatment is going to your results. Anyone considering aesthetic treatments, when we talk about anti-aging, laser kind of goes, through the gamut of different types of you're targeting different things. So you're targeting pigmentation usually. You're targeting it out. You want an even skin tone because you have areas of sun damage, which produce those hyperpigmented spots. And then you want to do the fine lines and wrinkles. Well, when you do laser, you can't just say, I'm going to target the fine lines and wrinkles today. The goal of the laser is to target everything at once. So if melanotan is increasing the melanin production in your skin, when we do the laser to try and break it up, where you're negating the effect of the laser. Essentially. So we target sunspot, freckles, hyperpigmentation, lentogens, melasma, and skin rejuvenation. And it depends on, the pigment you had before. Now, if it's darker, when you're on this medication, it can potentially alter how the laser energy is absorbed. It can increase the risk of what's called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So it can make it worse.
Yeah.
And then it also can increase hypopigmentation. Chronic sun exposure can give you those white spots where actually the melanin has been bleached out in an area. So laser can cause that as well. And then that will affect the treatment outcomes, and it'll make it harder to evaluate if the laser treatment actually worked or not, or you're getting the full benefit of the laser treatment.
So there are side effects, and it can definitely adversely affect your laser treatments,
Right.
which you want the positive outcomes of. So if you're paying for treatments designed to reduce unwanted pigment while simultaneously using a product that encourages pigment production, the goals may be working against one another, counterproductive.
That is correct. And the patients that came to see me did not have melasma, but if you have melasma, which pigment is already challenging in melasma, it could actually make it worse.
Okay. So important thing is to communicate with your aesthetic provider, your laser provider. If you're using melanotan, tanning injections, tanning nasal sprays, peptides, supplements, or medications that may affect pigmentation. Again, I didn't really know these even were a thing, but apparently they are.
That is correct. So I had gotten this question too. How how long should I stop the melanotan before a laser treatment? Or can you, again, can you take it while using it? And the answer clearly is no. But because nobody really has studied it, there's no right or wrong universal answer. Because it's not FDA approved, so it hasn't been studied in laser medicine. But now, as a provider that that is providing these laser treatments and dealing with pigmentation, the idea is that you should stop it for some period of time. So it does leave they do know that it does leave the bloodstream quickly. But the increased pigmentation can remain there for weeks or even months after stopping. So for pigment targeting lasers, which is pretty much all of them, many providers prefer that the patients return close as possible to their natural baseline color before receiving a treatment.
Okay. Well, Nikki, actually, there's some other points to go through. I don't know if you want to carry these through to next week or not, because we want to make sure we cover this topic sufficiently as we continue to talk about skin protection, skin health, and again, a number of things that people should be aware of. This is one part of the topic that I was completely unaware of, so I'd like to spend some additional time on it, including talking about the other safety concerns, safer alternatives, and the like. So maybe we continue this discussion next week, seeing as we are now getting into almost the height of the summer season. Skin protection. Correct. Skin, treatments and all of those things are very, very important. But Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and MedSpa are very up to date as far as aesthetics and very concerned about your overall health. That is one big distinction when you're dealing with a medical doctor and a nurse practitioner such as Nikki and Dr. Rhoda Smith. And it all starts with that free consultation.
Yes, it does. So we are available. I do free consultations, and you can call the office to schedule that, 305-294-1041.
Yes, as well as KeyWestSurgicalGroup.com online. You had some demonstrations last week, didn't you? Was that last week?
We did. We had a VIP event for our new device, Zerf. So it is radio frequency without needles. It is for skin tightening. I've done a couple of patients and they've had some pretty amazing results. So it's the closest thing you can get to a facelift without going under the knife.
Okay. Zerf. We talked about Zerf. Zerf is it sounds like a friendly robot name or something. It's doesn't it?
Well, it's a Korean machine. So
okay. There you go. There you go. Indeed it is. Well, and again, another very advanced treatment available at Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and MedSpa. So you can benefit from all of the attributes of a variety of different new technologies. Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and MedSpa, exceptional care close to home. Give a call for that free consultation, 305-294-1041. Nikki, thank you for educating us on melanotan. Again, I did not know about it, but we're going to learn a little bit more and take an even deeper dive into it next week, if that works.
That sounds like a plan.
That is.
And maybe I won't call it melatonin either.
We'll start off by not doing so. That was my fault. So
it's okay.
Need to take the hit for that. Well, thank you, Nikki, for being here. You have a wonderful day. Safe travels to you, and reach out at some point. I'll give some further pointers if you're traveling back up to Happy Valley here anytime soon. So
I am at the end of the month, so I will.
I heard. Well, congratulations to your daughter as well. That's great.
Yes.
Very good. Right. Thank you, Nikki. Thanks for being here. My best to Dr. Smith and everybody there at Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and MedSpa. We will talk very soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Right. Take care. Bye. Nikki, the nurse practitioner, with us, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and MedSpa. On Good Morning Keys, we return with more Good Morning Keys in just a moment.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in-store with 24 hours advance notice. And enjoy new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
Your home is your castle, your sanctuary. Rack Advanced Control brings together the electrical and smart technology that make your home comfortable, secure, and effortless to live in. Imagine music flowing seamlessly through every room, beautiful lighting that adjusts to your lifestyle, motorized shades, climate control, and energy management all working together automatically. From integrated audio and video systems to discrete security cameras and professional electrical services, Rack Advanced Control designs and installs technology that works in perfect harmony. Originally founded in California, Rack Advanced Control has over 20 years of experience serving the luxury residential market and was honored as a 2024 Lutron Excellence Award Integrator. Now with an office in Key West, Florida, Rack brings world-class smart home design and electrical expertise to the Florida Keys. Make your home smarter, safer, and more enjoyable to live in. Call 786-647-9647 or visit rackav.com. Rack Advanced Control. Intelligent luxury, expertly installed.
If it's happening in the Keys, you will hear about it here. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And Good Morning Keys, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, developing situation, mile marker 21 near the Cudjoe Key Sheriff Substation. Looks like it is an accident with no injuries now. FWC is also on scene from what we hear. But it will cause some slowdowns because there have been some first responders and law enforcement responding to that, which is now apparently an accident. No injuries so far, so that's causing some slowdowns. We're going to say good morning to Lynn Landry, former mayor of City of Marathon, city commissioner as well. And good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Michael. How are you this morning?
I am doing well. Thank you. I hope you are the same.
Yes, doing just fine this morning.
Yeah, so I got to say, we have to have complete truth in our reporting, and I almost misreported that there were going to be Mennonites coming to Marathon for a big event because I misheard you, and it's actually Havana Nights, not Mennonites. So I want to make sure we get that out of the way. We'll talk about that in a little while. But that would be something, and it would be totally untrue. But anyway, Mennonites are also welcome in the city of Marathon, but that is not what we're centering on this morning. Let's get right actually to the meeting that is coming up this week with the city commissioners. So the meeting happening tomorrow night, I think.
Well, it's actually tonight, Tuesday night, which is the second Tuesday of the month.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we have a couple of good things we're going to start off with. We're going to do an achievement proclamation for Miss Justice Lee. She's a senior at Marathon High School. She is the most decorated athlete in Marathon High School history.
Oh, my.
She's won 13 total medals. She won 4 state titles, 1 in track and field and 3 in weightlifting. So we're going to do an achievement proclamation for her tonight. And also she is going to continue her career in education at FIU moving forward. So looking forward to that. And then recognizing Diane Clavier for 20 years experience as our clerk with the City of Marathon, and Jared Weaver and Maria Covelli, both with 5 years here at the City of Marathon. So that's the fun stuff we get to do here in the city.
Yeah, City Commission meeting 5:30 in City Hall. So those recognitions will be absolutely part of the highlight there. And what else should we be highlighting from the agenda? It looks like it's got a number of different items tonight.
Well, there's about 7 items on there for a second public hearing. They're basically cleanup items in our LDRs, in our code of ordinances, to change the Department of Commerce or whatever they rebrand to in the future to the Land Planning Agency for the state of Florida. So we never have to change those again, no matter what they rebrand to. But every time they change, we need to change because it has to be accurate in our ordinances there for that. So we have 7 more of those items, which we pretty much read into the record and vote on them because the only change is that highlight in those. So that's kind of what's going to take a little bit of time tonight. But we also have our covered fish cleaning tables coming back in front of us. We've done this once before. We sponsored it from the city of Marathon. Department of Commerce had a little bit of issue with it because of some state statutes on being more restrictive after so many years after a major disaster or anything that's happened from us, like a declaration or anything like that for a storm. So there's a couple of people in the city came back and a couple of residents sponsored that for the city. So we're going to hear it again. We're going to send it back to Commerce, and I believe they will approve that to allow us to have covered fish cleaning stations on our docks here in the city of Marathon.
Okay, Lynn Landry is with us, former mayor of the city of Marathon, Keys Talk 96.9, 1025, the Talk of the Keys, and city council member currently as well. And on the agenda, continuing, looks like some further resolutions for the Deep Well project as that moves forward. So how are we there? I know we actually had a bit of a trip to D.C. You and the mayor went up with the city manager / attorney, acting city manager, that is, and seeking funding commitments, etc. So how do things look for the Deep Well so far?
Well, just to clarify, I did not go. Our lovely mayor, Ms. Delgado, went with our mayor / attorney, Steve Williams. They met with our lobbyist who opened up the doors for us to meet with our state senators and we met also with the Energy and Water Committee, mainly talking about FQIP dollars that come from the federal government. And we have gotten a total since, and just something I learned today. We've had our lobbyist in D.C. since 2003, and he's helped us secure $29,560,000 since 2003, primarily for our stormwater / utilities for wastewater in the city of Marathon.
Wow.
So always trying to secure money from us federally, especially for that.
Very effective then, it would appear. That's a big number, almost $30 million. So that is a huge help, and hopefully that help will continue to come forward given all the, budget concerns and cutbacks and all that kind of thing. And I know that we'll be going through budget workshops, et cetera, in the city of Marathon upcoming. All the municipalities in the county will be doing the same. But even before that, we have nonprofit grants that will be doled out from the city of Marathon. And the application process, I believe, is continuing through June.
Yes, it'll be continuing through June 30th. So if you're a nonprofit in the city of Marathon and you're doing some good work here, please apply. We have $100,000. It's a little bit less than what we had last year. And we're going to open up our workshop on the 4th Tuesday of the month. I don't remember exactly what day that is. So you'll be able to come out and present if you've applied or you received money in the past, to tell us what you've done with the money and what your organization does here in the city of Marathon to help us. Because after that, then it'll close June 30th. We'll actually score them as the council. They'll rate them, and then they'll apply money to how we rate those nonprofits. And then I think we will probably be giving those out in July at July's meeting.
Okay. Well, again, it's Lynn Landry with us from the city of Marathon, Keys Talk 96.9, 1025, the Talk of the Keys. So we're in the summer months thus far. We always have some events coming up in the city of Marathon, and in keeping with the hot weather, it is Hot Havana Nights, to clarify. Can you tell us what that's going to be entailing?
Well, it is actually going to be hot. So Hot Havana Nights was the perfect tagline for it. It's June 13th. It's at Oceanfront Park here in the city of Marathon, which is behind City Hall at the Tiki. We're going to have a classic car show, music, dominoes, dancing, and games. Should be an interesting evening. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. one of those community events committees. I think Maria Covelli chairs that for us here in the city of Marathon. They have put on some great events over the past several months to the last year, from ice skating to roller skating under the tiki out here behind City Hall. So hopefully that committee will continue to bring us some great events to bring this community together.
Excellent. Well, that is the purpose of it. And that tiki structure back there, 5,000 square feet, is a perfect place to do it, right behind City Hall. So city council meeting happens tonight, 5:30 at City Hall. Code compliance hearing for the City of Marathon on the 18th at 2 o'clock. Planning Commission meeting the 22nd, 5:30. Then the city council workshop for nonprofits. All are encouraged to attend who would be applying for those grants on the 23rd. That's at 5:30. So I think that covers the upcoming events thus far. Is there anything else that we should be talking about considering the city of Marathon from your perspective, Lynn?
Well, there's one more thing. We have the Quay boat ramp on the north end of town. It is closed, I think, for probably another week, maybe two. We're doing some dock repairs on that. We had some issues with some of that aging structure there, so they're replacing all that. So hopefully it'll be open in the next week or 10 days. I know it's been closed for about a week already, so hopefully we're going to get that repaired and get it back up to spec for us so we can open that ramp back up.
Yeah, and thank you for that. I didn't see anything specifically on the agenda just at first glance as far as any updates on our recruitment efforts for vacancies in City Hall, including city manager. Will we have any further updates at tonight's meeting on that?
Well, I just spoke with Mr. Williams about that. He's going to give us an update. We have closed the portal now for applications. They're in the process. Mr. Williams has been out of town the last couple of weeks, several days in each week. So there's a committee that's scoring all those for us based on a rubric that was developed by our HR department. So hopefully we'll get an update on that tonight. I'm going to add it to the agenda if he doesn't add it tonight. I just spoke with him about it. So we'll get an update on that and kind of maybe not putting dates to what we're doing yet, but moving forward, kind of how we're going to handle the interview process and all that for the selection from the council perspective.
Okay. So we'll be talking about that as time goes on, looking for a new city manager. Also, the fire chief position is still vacant as well.
Well, yes, it's vacant right now. As far as I know that Shanna Rogers, who's a long-term lieutenant that's been doing a lot of administrative work hand in hand with the chief, they've appointed her as the interim chief at this point.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where that's going at this point right now, but that's what we have. So we have some stability in place there. Mm-hmm. But moving forward, I'm sure we're going to be looking for a fire chief. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lynn. Thanks for your service to our community. And we will follow the developments after the city council meeting and all the other gatherings and meetings throughout the rest of the month, and looking forward to Hot Havana nights as well in the city of Marathon. So thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Indeed. You take care. Mennonite nights would not be a good idea. They dress in heavy clothing. That probably would be very, very, anyway. Nonetheless, Hot Havana nights. Looking forward to it. Have a great day, sir. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, you as well. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, The Talk of the Keys. We'll return with more Good Morning Keys in a moment.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it. They have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way. Diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters shucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
The voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys, that traffic incident, mile marker 21, Cudjoe Key near the sheriff's substation, is an ongoing event, still reported as an accident with no injuries, but Florida Highway Patrol apparently is on scene, as well as FWC and others. So there could be some congestion and slowdowns through that area. Keep that in mind, please. We're going to say good morning to Karen from Peyton's Promise. We've spoken with Karen before in the past. Want to say good morning and welcome back.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much for having me back. I appreciate it.
Yes, thanks so much for being here. So for those who have missed our previous conversations, Karen, please give us an overview of Peyton's Promise, your mission, and what it is that you do.
Yeah, so I take high-risk senior dogs who have special medical needs or are hospice, end of life, out of high-volume shelters, so Miami, Palm Beach, Orlando, and they have a high risk of euthanasia, obviously. And I bring them to me, and they can spend the rest of their lives with us here at the sanctuary, or if their medical conditions can be rehabilitated and we get them to optimal health, then they can be up for adoption if it's appropriate.
Indeed. Well, and you are right in Marathon, correct?
We are in Marathon, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, and you do rely on the community support to keep this going because it is very expensive to take care of the needs of these very special animals.
It sure is. We are volunteer run and we rely on donations. And, you know, one of the very top reasons why people surrender their senior animal to a shelter is because they can't afford the medical care. So that's why we specifically take those dogs. Of course, we help our local community as well. If there's a dog at the FKSPCA, either Marathon or Key West, that fits the criteria, we would absolutely take that animal. So that's why donations are extremely important, because the vet bills do add up, but they are worthy and deserving, just like the young ones, to have a healthy, happy rest of their lives.
Yeah, and you do provide that special treatment for the rest of their lives, and of which they are so deserving. And it was Peyton, your beloved Peyton, who really was the inspiration for all of this.
That's right. Peyton Rose was a beautiful special needs German Shepherd who I met at the FKSPCA Marathon campus when I was volunteering there. This was about 6.5 years ago. And I've been wanting to do this since I was very young, but she was the one that really inspired me to really get it going, because I saw how much one-on-one care she really needed. And it was time. It was time to do it. So I made that promise to her. I said, Peyton, I promise you, when I see you through your journey here, I will start the sanctuary. And I wound up adopting her, and I was able to give her her best last day. We had a big party for her, and we sent her off to heaven with lots of love and grace. And from there, everything just we got the ball rolling, and here we are today.
Well, you can find out more at PaytonsPromiseSanctuary.org, spelled with PAYTONS, PromiseSanctuary.org. And again, you've given some wonderful send-offs, if we can call it that, to some very beloved and deserving dogs, and making their final days and final day even something that is a real tribute to them, and something that they well deserve, certainly.
Yeah. And we, it's the best last day can look so different for the dogs. It just depends on what their likes are, their personality. And, honestly, we really strive to make the rest of their life the best of their life. That's one of our little mottos. And so we try to make every day fun, every single day fun, with enrichment, and with it being so hot outside. We like to do special things like making special frozen treats and baby pools and things like that. So I think they enjoy themselves here. I really do. I haven't had any complaints yet.
Well, it's a special mission, and you brought your healthcare background as an RN to and all of the compassion that you have exhibited along the way is exemplary. So you have some forever dogs who are able to stay with you till their final days, and they are so enriched and blessed as a result. But you also have some dogs that do get nursed back to health and available for adoption. Currently, we have a few different dogs who would be looking for someone to take them in and take care of them for the rest of their lives.
That's right. And the ones that are rehabilitated back to their optimal health, yes, they all still have special needs. Most of them are on medication for the rest of their lives, and, chronic issues like arthritis and things like that have to be managed. But once the routine has been established, they're actually living very, very good lives, and they may have a few good years left. And dogs live in the present moment. So they're happy with whatever time they have left with their humans. So, and especially Lily is super active. She is a 12, she's actually 13. She's a 13-year-old husky that we got back in September, and she's doing amazing. She's got long-term health issues that are well managed, and she's extremely active, doesn't care for the heat very much. She loves the AC.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, some of these dogs surprise us. They came in really poor health, and the energy levels that they have now is just incredible. So yeah, we do have about 5 for adoption, and possibly a 6th one that we just rescued last month. We're getting her all of her medical needs looked at, and we'll see if she will be adoptable.
Wonderful. Well, Karen Thomas is with us. She is the founder of Peyton's Promise, nonprofit in the Florida Keys, providing a loving sanctuary for senior special needs and terminally ill dogs. And what a special calling it has been for you, applying holistic medical care and other needs for these very deserving dogs, sometimes in their final days of life. But Karen, we are so proud to know you and so humbled by your mission and your efforts. PaytonsPromiseSanctuary.org is where you go to help out, and help is always needed. As Karen did mention, it's very expensive to try to provide for these dogs, whether it's their basic needs or their special needs. How can people take part and get involved and help in this very, very touching and rewarding effort?
Yeah, donating through the website is probably the greatest way to help us. Of course, we have some volunteer opportunities, and that's very specialized training because everybody requires something special. And another way to help, I'm going to announce it that next month we're going to be raffling off a Highboy electric stand-up scooter to benefit our dogs. So that one lucky winner gets the prize, but every ticket helps provide the care for these dogs. And that will be all over social media starting in July.
Okay. Well, we will look for that, and we'll have you back to talk about that again at a soon-to-be future date. But Karen, anything else that we should mention to help before we let you go?
To help, I just think to consider senior dogs if you're going to adopt. They're really so joyful and so full of love and just so ready to go. Like they are so ready to be adopted. You know, they've done they're wise. I'll just sum it up like that. They're wise. It's so worthy.
Well, wise and grateful, and they will provide unconditional love for you.
Yes.
For the rest of their lives as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Peyton's Promise Sanctuary, Peyton'sPromiseSanctuary.org online. Please consider helping this. It can't be overstated the depth of this mission and how important it is and how gratifying as well. And we are so grateful that you are taking this challenge on each and every day, Karen.
I appreciate it. It is my passion and my mission, and I love each and every one of them. Thank you so much for having me. I have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much. Karen Thomas with us. You have a wonderful day as well. Peyton'sPromiseSanctuary.org online. And this is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. Breaking news as soon as it happens. Local, state, national news at least every half hour. Weather around the clock. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And time for Glenn Beck.